Hey guys, I want to do a quick review video here on this Hobbyking Thorax Mini FPV quad, or Hex. I got it from Hobbyking about a week or so ago. I put it together pretty easily. It's only a few screws and bolts and stuff like that. The frame itself is very rigid. Doesn't, have any movement at all. It just feels pretty strong. I think these booms here should last in a crash, or, providing it doesn't just slam into the ground or something. But the other thing is you can't get parts for this, but the frame's only 25 bucks. So if you want, grab a second frame, and you got a spare set of every part. A couple things about it I didn't like. The spot where I've seen other people mount their ESCs, which is in between these two spots, isn't very wide. The only ESCs I had spare were 20 amp ESCs, so I had to mount them over here on the edges. I've actually had to mount them twice. The first time I had them up front and the edges over here and had the back open, but the way this configuration is, it was way too heavy in the front, so I ended up moving each ESC back and moving the front two back here. Right now this is set up with the new Multi-Star Elites. I believe they are 2204. Yep, 2204 motors. The motors themselves, I'm not doing a review on these motors, but I ended up having to use 4S on these motors because I didn't like the power that they gave this Hex. They should have really got this thing off the ground unbelievably fast, and it was kind of sluggish. I'm using the Naze 32 board, the full Naze 32 board in there. I'll show you another things. I have to take the top plate off, which is just 6 screws, and I'll be right back. Alright, so I got all the top screws taken off here. So basically, this is the top plate. It does have a little vibration dampening thing on top here. It's designed for a Mobius. I don't have a Mobius, so what I have here is a GoPro. I will probably eventually get a Mobius, but basically the GoPro does fit on there, and rubber bands across the top will be fine. I don't really like this. This is an expensive camera to just be exposed on here, so the Mobius really is the better option for this because it's only, 70 bucks or so to fit it. If you crash, it's 70 bucks, not 400. So, like I said, that stand does look like it's going to have some decent anti-jello in there, so it should be okay. So, I got the top off here. There isn't much space when you put these ESCs in this spot. That seems the story of my life on every quad I build. If you can see, the Naze here is actually pointed to the right. I had to adjust the yaw rate on it because the USB input was coming out the back here, and I couldn't get it in with these ESCs into there. So I ended up having to put a USB input here, and then on the bottom of it I have it wrapped right around so I can tune it. When it's all done tuning, I could probably remove it. I don't need to tune it every time I fly. It should be all set. But another thing, the ESC that I had a BEC. The BEC was broken. I used these ESCs once before on another rig. The BEC ended up burning out, and it was putting like 8 volts out instead of the 5 that it should have. So I ended up having to mount a external BEC right there, and it does alright. Like I said, I probably have a little too much on this thing for what it's built for, and that's why I have to run it on 4S. 4S, it does fly extremely well. I got my receiver up here, which means I can't use it's kind of covering where the little board camera can go. There's a spot for the board camera in there. I'm not using it, so I put my receiver there. I also have some custom-made lights on the end of each. Get a little better shot here. On the end of each boom. I'm big into lighting and LEDs. I figured out the resistance on all of them and made them work with the 3S battery. So the 4S battery, they don't work. However, when I hook up my FPV transmitter, this guy here will run off of 3S, so I can just hook the lights onto that 3S battery. So I'll have essentially 2 batteries running. I'll probably use, a 3S battery, 1.0 or something like that, to run my lights and my transmitter. So if you are thinking about this hex, it is going to be a nice hex after you get it all together and all set up. Just take this into account, your ESCs here, because they are, you know, you are using valuable space when you put them in that spot. I could have obviously gotten some spacers and spaced out this spot here in between, but I didn't want to do that. That kind of is also what's holding the booms on there, and I didn't want to do that. So if you obviously, if you want to buy spacers, that will help. You can put your ESCs inside if you are using bigger ESCs that don't fit in there. These, like I said, are 20 amp ESCs. I believe they make a 15 amp that's slim, so I think they should just slide right into there. Yeah, so if you want, you can send me if you have any questions, send me a whatever it is on YouTube on the bottom of this page. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.